I'm Mia Mason. I'm running for Congress here on Maryland's Eastern Shore. One of the biggest concerns and issues that we have is our traffic, our education, our health care, and our civil rights that are being taken away by our representative that is currently in office, and I seek to change that as an LGBT candidate. I'm Mia Mason. I'm running for Congress here on Maryland's Eastern Shore. One of the biggest concerns and issues that we have is our traffic, our education, our health care, and our civil rights that are being taken away by our representative that is currently in office, and I seek to change that. Oh, this is unusual. Well, hi there. I am Mia Mason. I am a congressional candidate here in Maryland District 1. As you just saw, I was chatting with my friends Sarah McBride and Danica Rome. They're doing their little virtual town hall today, and we are just making sure that everything is going smoothly as best as we can, because we do this live for you to make sure that you get everything up to date that you need in our world for our Marylanders out here in Maryland District 1. It is vitally and super important to also spend a little bit of time with you. We are a completely digital campaign now. A lot of things have completely changed since March 12th, where we are so looking for Memorial Day or for like our military to finish up so that they can be with us and around us for 4th of July. It will be an honor and a pleasure to salute our heroes, but now in our present day, our current heroes are our healthcare workers. They have done an absolutely amazing job to make sure that us, the civilians, the population, is safe. It is very, very important that we take care of them, because we'll get into those little bit of guidelines later, but they have to adhere to those every day. And we have some sad news. Maryland is still under lockdown, but thankfully our friends and neighbors are still there to say hi, hello, if you do see them when they're out grocery shopping. But our country is currently suffering, and it is just the way that things are going on. And we must take a little bit of time to spend with them, because they're still busy. Their life is busy. They have a household to take care of, and they don't know if they're coming home with a virus or not. And an example of this is, the residents at Forest Hill and, over there in Harford County. The thing that has happened there is that, one of their, residents there has passed, and 2 others have been hospitalized. And I got this through a neighborhood app called Patch. So if you're not familiar with it, get yourself also next door, or look into the Facebook Marketplace and find your local group so that you can stay informed of what's going on around us and around the world. It will definitely make a difference for everything that you do, because it will give you the heads up. I'm going to basically post and tell other people that, hey, there's paper towels in the grocery store, but that's something that, do I need to do that? Number 1. Number 2, are people going to need it, or are they still hoarding all of that paper towel? But moving on, in Harford County, there are now 232 cases there. It is slowly increasing. But overall in the state, 68 have passed away per the Baltimore Sun. So let's just take a moment of prayer and remember what has going on in those hospital rooms where people are passing away. They might not be able to say goodbye to their loved ones. So make sure you take the time to be with them, call them, wish them well. Let's take that moment. All right. Well, some of the things they need is right here. You can get it, 3D print it, and send it into your hospital. It is something that we're still printing here in the house. 3D face mask, very easy to do, and hopefully later on we can send them out. Essential travel is still kind of locked down, but when we take a look around here, our neighbors in Carroll, they got 330 cases. Cecil only has 134. Our Representative Harris is calling for everybody to open up because everybody else has under 60 cases on the Eastern Shore, but those don't reflect those who are being tested. We need testing because when you take a look at Baltimore County with 1,925 and 51 deaths, and then you take a look at the other big population in Salisbury, originally from Virginia. I'm here in Maryland. I love Maryland. This is my home. I'm here to represent you. They have 176 and 2 deaths just in the last day. But overall, it's been a 509 case increase across the entire state. And you can actually take a look at this. It's, coronavirus.maryland.gov. And then there you go. You're there with the best resources that you can do to help slow the spread. And I'm serious about making sure that you are doing your part and not being out there and protesting against our nurses and doctors who are out there counter-protesting you because you decided to be a dum-dum and get yourself sick. Wash your hands. It's in the governor's order. Cover your mouth if you're going to actually have sneezes or allergies out there. Do that dab. Make it happen. Avoid contact with other sick people unless you actually have to do that as your job. Our healthcare workers are the number one people who are taking care of them. And if you feel like you're sick or anything else, stay home. Start your calendar for 14 days. I know I have 42 until election day. But the important thing is just make sure that you take care of yourself and create a conversation with your neighbors and practice that social distancing. As I said, it was 2 shopping carts, not 1. A lot of grocery stores have also put arrows on the floor so that you know exactly what's going on. So I plan on relaunching my campaign end of May to basically get that last ditch effort out there. But the governor has basically put out a plan to basically try to get us to reopen and get this country back to where it needs to go. Oil has completely sunk. You're basically paying tax on the small amount of, leftover prices of what they originally bought it for at the gas station. But where are you going to go? Your work is at home. So it makes a difference. Our campaign is at home. So a lot of people, even today, I saw them outside without their masks, doing non-essential things. And if you're going to enter a store, the sign clearly says, no mask, no service. People forgot about this order, and if you're a rider or operator on public transportation and you're out on the bus, you need to ride it. I'm out in a rural area, so there's no bus. I miss Baltimore. I miss a little bit of Annapolis and DC because of all the wonderful public transportation, and I want to make sure that if I'm elected, I can bring that infrastructure out to you and provide that service, by helping the governor and other state delegates and House constituents, senators, get infrastructure bills passed. Yes, it's going to cost a lot of money, but here as a congresswoman, I can actually make sure and get Senate approval to help fund this a little bit. Because when we take a look at the Third Bay Bridge and we're looking at the environment to make sure that it stays clean, we have to make the smart choice. When we look at the telecommunications, which last were updated back in the 70s or 80s, it's time to get that done. Companies are vying to put in that 650 miles of fiber optic to make things a lot better for you. So it is just one of those things. Apparently, my spouse is still working. It is just one of those things that all of us have to live with. A lot of people have been furloughed, put on PTO, or simply let go. But we had a bill that was passed by the Senate today. We'll probably come back to the House. I haven't spent a lot of time in the news to take care of that. I've been calling constituents and text messaging of like a couple thousand people to make sure that we get the message out that you are going to be voting by mail. So it is important for you to get that all done. All right, your ballot will be coming into the mail for you. And I'm just going to read it straight from the horse's mouth here because it's an important thing, because it's going to happen for all districts now. I've been broadcasting this message since March. It has not changed, but you have to be able to track your ballot, make sure your voter registration is up to date. Okay, and honey, you're still out. All right, and here's the most important part. Your ballots will be mailed to the address that you have on file. So it will be sent to where you have it on file. So I really recommend that you go check your information, because when I call people or tell them if they want to opt out, it is basically update your information so that if you don't want phone calls, delete your phone numbers. If you don't want emails, delete your email. Even when I'm knocking doors, it's one of the things I make sure that their information's correct. It's about being a part of that community, no matter where you are across this wonderful district that's the size of 2 Delawares, to travel out to you to make sure that 1, you're registered to vote, 2, you're getting your ballot, and 3, that we follow up with you and make sure that you voted. Because here's the thing, you get it in the mail, it will probably be in between your clippings. A lot of my bills show up between my super clippers and all of the other fun mail. So make sure that you open up all your mail between now and June 2nd and get your ballot. It's pre-posted with its postage. You just put who you're voting down. Do not sign it with your name or anything. Put it back into the envelope that already has a prepaid postage on it. Send it back. Please make sure that you do so before May 27th. A lot shorter date. If you're going to do it electronically, okay, you can drop your ballot in on June 2nd. They put in bold here that your mail-in ballot must be postmarked by June 2nd. But I'm highly recommending that the 27th you get it done, you have it done, you don't worry about it, because that's the same day that you need to update your voter registration by, May 27th. I've been promoting May 26th, but they finally got things approved, they changed things, but guess what? June 2nd is the election date. We need your support. It is something super important for us to have done. So we're asking for your donations. We need to make sure that others know about our campaign. And we do this through a coalition called No Dem Left Behind. We're a national organization that takes care of everybody and everyone's issues here, not only in Maryland, but also across all 50 states. So if I'm still watching Sarah and Danica talking to their constituents, and I have a meeting here in 15 minutes, it makes absolute sense that you can do the same. So join us, make it a part of your life, and we'll be right back. Donate. miadmason.us or nodemleftbehind.com. So with that, we'll be right back. I'm Mia Mason. I'm running for Congress here on Maryland's Eastern Shore. One of the biggest concerns and issues that we have is our traffic, our education, our health care, and our civil rights that are being taken away by our representative that is currently in office, and I seek to change that as an LGBT candidate. I'm Mia Mason. I'm running for Congress here on Maryland's Eastern Shore. One of the biggest concerns and issues that we have is our traffic, our education, our health care, and our civil rights that are being taken away by our representative that is currently in office, and I seek to change that as an LGBT candidate. Well, welcome back. Here's the latest updates in the news. Big pandemic. Of course, it's conquering the news, but you have to go outside the country to get the better news, I take it. So here we are. Senate approved the coronavirus relief. Okay, that happened about an hour and a half ago. Super important. Buy some oil. Don't recommend it. It's going to go down. Haven't tracked it at all today. Been doing other wonderful things for you. But yeah, it is finally approved. It looks like we're going to be still helping out the small businesses, and thankfully other bigger businesses have done the right thing and said exactly what it is. But here's the other thing, food. I'm still out there buying what I need. There's no need to hoard. All right? Grocery stores are finally now just getting started to stock back up. Do your part. Look at the healthcare worker there. He is doing his job to stop those protesters. Freaking hero. Okay? That's what we're talking about. They can't even spell half the time when they put stuff on their vehicles. But, honest to God, I'm not perfect either. Okay? And I'll tell you this much. If you're going to go out there and protest, make sure you're mindful of what you're doing. Okay? Understand that, one, you could be arrested. Two, a lot of other bad things might happen. All right? So go out there, be prepared. Follow the law. Make sure that you wear your mask if you're going to be out here on this public gathering to protest. But we're not here saying that our governor's wrong, our city should be open and everything else. We're doing this in a phased operation to make sure that, one, we get all the testing completed. Right? If you haven't been tested, how do you know for sure? Get with your doctor. They're doing wonderful things with electronics to make sure that you are seen. At Walter Reed, all of the enlisted people, majority of the doctors and nurses are all communicating with their patients online. We're looking at going back to normal operations after 4th of July. So we are taking stepping stones for each of the businesses to reopen. So no matter what department of transportation you're in, grocery store, restaurant, entertainment, your businesses will slowly open up. Have confidence, not in the, Republicans or the Democrats, but with our healthcare workers, that what they are reporting is a downward trend before we start reopening. So you have to look at the data, not be a scientist, all right? You can't play one on TV, but make sure that, you understand what's going on. Yes, it's a beautiful day out there. I wish I could be out there. Wind in my hair, I'm going out and knocking on doors, but I'm not essential. You having to go to work, probably more essential than what I'm doing. Going to the grocery store once a week, there you go. Getting the essentials is what you should be doing. So make sure that that is exactly what you're doing when you are out there. Let me bring my script back up so that we can make sure that we stay on track. Because we left off with what the governor told us what was going on. Adult customers accompanying children ages 2 through 9, all right, must have face coverings into retail or food service establishments. Any retail establishment staffer needs to be wearing a face covering. Simple. Or else it's a $5,000 fine. Food service establishments, all right, we'll make sure that everyone that comes in has a face covering. They recommend the single use, which can be discarded in the proper trash receptacle, or you can use a medical grade mask that can be reused. Very, very simple. Clear and elegant, put out by the governor on what was the law that started on April 15th at 7 a.m. on April 18th. Gave you 3 days to get your affairs in order. Now, we're going to be looking at what is going to happen here through May to the end of May to slowly bring our economy, our schools, and a lot more back in order. So if you haven't been doing your homework, kids, you're going to have a hard time when those tests come up after May 15th, because you probably get your finals in June. So don't think you're skipping out. You still have to go through do your testing and everything else and get your final grades. And don't forget, show and tell is amazing when you do all of that wonderful artwork, all of that wonderful math and English, and then you have to do it in front of everybody, like I'm doing with you. Isn't that so wonderful? But we're glad y'all are back. Reminder, absentee ballot is a way that you can track your mail and get yourself to go vote for Mia, because that will make the difference when you do. So, let's get into what is coming up here very shortly. All right, we're at No Done Left Behind. We will have the former Congressional woman, Katie Hill, hosting us. Last week, we had Alyssa Milano. Came out very good. Enjoyed it. However, now we need some questions from you to come in. You can register online. Go to miadmason.com/Katie to register. Very simple to do. But that is this Thursday, April 23rd at 8 p.m. We will be campaigning and talking about exactly what our issues are. My personal conversation that I would like to have with her is how the East Coast and the West Coast are completely a little bit different, especially when it comes to GDP, our economy, and how are we going to reopen our communities? Because this is what's going on, and what would she do? What would you do? These are the things that we're looking forward to asking her, especially from all of the members in our coalition who will be joining us this Thursday. And then the following week, we'll have another guest. And on the next Tuesday, we will announce who that will be. So feel free to join us this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to join us with Congressional Congresswoman Katie Hill. All right. So with that, y'all have a wonderful night, and we will be talking to you very, very soon. Love you all. Have a great night. Bye. I'm Mia Mason. I'm running for Congress here on Maryland's Eastern Shore. One of the biggest concerns and issues that we have is our traffic, our education, our health care, and our civil rights that are being taken away by our representative that is currently in office, and I seek to change that as an LGBT candidate. I'm Mia Mason. I'm running for Congress here on Maryland's Eastern Shore. One of the biggest concerns and issues that we have is our traffic, our education, our health care, and our civil rights that are being taken away by our representative that is currently in office, and I seek to change that as an LGBT candidate. I'm Ian Mason. I'm running for Congress. Our voters are at the helm in 2020 because our education has failed us. Our infrastructure has failed us. With your driving force, we can fix that, especially in our healthcare, because your vote actually matters and you have the choice in 2020. I'm Ian Mason and I approve this message.